Hello, I'm Mrs. J, and welcome to my math class. Today we're going to do some more examples with right angle trigonometry, and I mixed up the two cases so that we can practice, because remember, if we have two sides and we're looking for the third side, we use the Pythagorean theorem. If we have an angle or are looking for an angle, then you have to use SOHCAHTOA. So if we look at the first one, ramps, this is about ramps. There's a uniform federal accessibility standard. Specify that the ramp angle used for a wheelchair ramp must be less than or equal to 4.78. The length of one ramp is 16 feet, and this is our length of the ramp, so this is our 16. The vertical rise is 14 inches. When they're talking about the vertical rise, this is the vertical rise. Another thing you want to notice as you're reading, that this is in inches and this is in feet, and so we would have to make it all the same. Estimate the ramp's horizontal distance. So we're looking for this one, which means we have two sides. We're looking for the third. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But we need to make these units the same, so we either need to make 14 inches into feet or this into inches. Going smaller is usually easier. This involves decimals, so you might want to go with this one. It's 14. Yeah, it would be repeating. You don't want the decimal. So we have 16 feet. We know that 12 inches is 1 foot. I put the feet on the bottom so feet would cancel. So you're just multiplying. You don't have to use the proportion, but sometimes it helps so that you know whether you're multiplying by the 12 or dividing. But it's 16 times 12. We get 192 inches. So a squared plus b squared is c squared. Notice that we have the hypotenuse. That's our c. So it's 192 squared. A 14 squared, and we're looking for b. Solving it then, 14 squared is 196 plus x squared equals 192 squared, which is 36864. Subtract the 196. X squared equals 36668. Take the square root of both sides. Again, we don't need the plus and minus. It has to be positive. So x equals the square root of 8, which is 191.5 inches. If they wanted feet, we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. That way inches will cancel. That means we need to divide by the 12. I'm taking the whole answer, divide by 12, and get, notice if we go to the 10th, that 5 is going to round that up, so it'll be 16 feet. And since we're rounding, approximately 16 feet. How far apart do Sarah and James live? Well, let's see. Notice we're given miles. Those are the two legs, and we're looking for the hypotenuse because we want to know how far they live. So again, we're given two sides, looking for the third. It would be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This time, though, we're looking for the hypotenuse. So 2 squared plus 1.5 squared, I think that's what that is. Squared is 4. 2.25 equals c squared. 6 1/4 equals c squared. Take the square root and get 2.5. So they live 2.5 miles apart. Well, let's try another one. You are in a hot air balloon that is 600 feet above the ground, where you can see your friend. If the angle of depression from you to your friend is 20 degrees, remember angle of depression is this way, is 20 degrees. How far is he from the point on the ground below the hot air balloon? We want to know how far he is from the balloon and the point on the ground. So we're looking for this one. Now, the angle of depression, notice these two are horizontal, so alternate interior angles are equal, so this is also 20 degrees. So we can use this angle. This is our right angle, and we have opposite over adjacent. Use SOHCAHTOA, opposite and adjacent is tangent. So the tangent of 20 equals opposite over adjacent. Opposite, adjacent. Multiply the x to the other side. Divide by the tangent. And get x equals, plug that in our calculator, 600 divided by the tangent of 20. And rounding to the 10th, it would be 0.5. And it was in feet. The size of a TV screen is given by the length of its diagonal. When you're told you have a 42-inch TV, it is not the length, it's the diagonal. If the dimensions of a TV are 16 inches by 14, so 16 by 14. I can put the 16 here. What is the size of the TV screen? Well, that means we're looking for the diagonal. Again, Pythagorean theorem, because we have two sides and we're looking for the third. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. In this case, we're looking for the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. 16 squared plus 14 squared equals c squared. 16 squared plus 14 squared is 452. Take the square root. $21. So it's a 21-inch TV. That's it for right triangle trigonometry.